Hi students, this is Botany PSR. Today I am going to start a new chapter called Biomolecules. Biomolecules, right. The living organism contain so many number of cells, numerous cells, thousands of cells, lakhs of cells. Those cells contain carbon compounds. Cells contain carbon compounds. All the carbon compounds present in the living tissue, all the carbon compounds present in the living tissue are called biomolecules. What are biomolecules? All the carbon compounds present in the living tissue, present in the living organism are called biomolecules. That means the organism will contain lakhs of cells. Those cells contain carbon compounds. So that is, you have to say carbon compounds. Carbon compounds means organic compounds, right? All the carbon compounds present in the living tissues or present in the living organisms are called biomolecules. Next, if we observe the earth crust means there will be some type of elements. In living organism, if we observe means some type of elements are present. Will those elements and these elements are same or not same means the elements present in earth crust are also present in the living tissue. The elements, the elemental composition present in earth crust is also same when compared to living tissue. That is, all the elements present in a sample of earth crust are also present in a sample of living tissue. So the elemental composition is the same in both earth crust and living tissue. Elemental composition. So all the elements which are present in earth crust are also present in the sample of living tissue. Next, the relative abundance of carbon and hydrogen. The relative abundance means more. The relative abundance of carbon and hydrogen with respect to other elements is higher in living organism than in earth crust. That is, if we observe the earth crust and the living organism means elements are same, but abundance, which elements are more in living tissue means carbon and hydrogen. Not only those two elements, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, that is CONS. That is carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. Yes, these 5 types of elements are relatively more in living organism, that is human body, than in earth crust. The relative, if we want to say 2 elements means this is the textbook line, carbon and hydrogen. In the textbook there is a tabular form. In the tabular form, if we observe means these elements also relatively more abundance in human body than earth crust. So the relative abundance of which elements are higher in living tissue, living organism than in earth crust means CONS. CONS means carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur. If you want to write 2 means carbon and hydrogen you want to write. Okay. So the relative abundance of carbon and hydrogen and others, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, are relatively more with respect to other elements is higher in living organisms than in earth crust. Okay. Next, how to analyze the chemical composition? How to analyze the chemical composition? By using a chemical substance called trichloroacetic acid. Very, very important point, my dear students. How to analyze the chemical composition means by using a chemical substance called trichloroacetic acid. By using trichloroacetic acid. That means how to analyze the chemical composition. Here is a process. Now first of all, take a living tissue, either the leaf or the liver, and it will be grind it in trichloroacetic acid, molecular formula Cl3CCOOH. So take a living tissue and it is placed in trichloroacetic acid and grind it, and then thick slurry will be formed. Thick slurry. Okay, thick slurry will be formed. So that living tissue is placed in which chemical? Trichloroacetic acid. Molecular formula Cl3CCOOH. And if we grind it means thick slurry will be formed. Thick slurry formed, and we have to filter it. Now I am filtering here. If we filter means some materials are present here, some materials will be percolated down, some materials will be passed down. This is so called acid soluble pool or fraction. This is so called acid insoluble pool or acid insoluble fraction. Some materials will remain here only. Some materials will move down, will pass it down. This is so called acid insoluble fraction. This is so called acid soluble fraction. Acid soluble pool, acid insoluble pool, acid soluble pool. So some materials which are present here, those are so called acid insoluble pool. Some materials which are passed down, those are so called acid soluble pool or fraction. See, let us suppose this is the lower fraction, this is the lower fraction, and this is the upper fraction. Now look at here, my dear students, this is the lower fraction. Lower fraction is also called filtrate, also called acid soluble fraction. What are the components it contains? That is organic compounds like macromolecules, except lipids. All biomicromolecules except lipids, and sugars, amino acids also present. Next one, inorganic compounds like sulfate and phosphate. Inorganic compounds like sulfate and phosphate are also found in lower fraction. And thousands of organic compounds, So what are the materials found? What are the substances found in lower fraction? Also called filtrate, also called acid soluble pool or fraction. That is biomicromolecules except lipids. Lipids are not found here. Next, sugars, amino acids. Next, inorganic compounds like sulfate and phosphate. Next, thousands of organic compounds, right? If you look at here, this is the upper fraction, also called retentate. Retentate means upper one remaining. Next, acid insoluble fraction. So what are the other names? Upper fraction, also called retentate, also called acid insoluble fraction. What are the substances it contains? It contains organic molecules like macromolecules. What is that? Macro means large size, right? Macromolecules like proteins, polysaccharides, nucleic acids. Proteins, polysaccharides and nucleic acids are considered as biomacromolecules. What are the macromolecules means? Those molecular weight more than 10,000 Daltons. Micromolecules means less than 1,000, Daltons. So what does it mean? Biomicromolecules means the molecular weight less than 1,000 Daltons are considered as biomicromolecules. What does it mean? Biomacromolecules means the molecular weight more than 10,000 Daltons. Right? What are the macromolecules means? Proteins, polysaccharides and nucleic acids. Proteins, polysaccharides and nucleic acids. These are all the macromolecules. Next, biomicromolecules like lipids. Actually, lipid is a micromolecule, but it comes under acid insoluble fraction. This is very, very important point. Lipid is a biomicromolecule, but it comes under acid insoluble fraction. Acid insoluble fraction or macromolecular fraction. Macromolecules are found in here now. Macromolecular fraction. Lipids are strictly micromolecules, but it comes under acid insoluble fraction or macromolecular fraction. Next, macromolecules from cytoplasm, macromolecules from cell organelles. Some macromolecules are present in cytoplasm, some macromolecules are present in cell organelles. Those are all present in upper fraction only, and cell membrane and other membranes. So, what are the substances in upper fraction means? Biomacromolecules like proteins, polysaccharides, nucleic acids. Biomicromolecule like lipids. Macromolecules of cytoplasm and cell organelles. Macromolecules of cytoplasm and cell organelles are macromolecules from cytoplasm and cell organelles. Next, cell membrane and other membranes are all present in upper fraction. If we compare means in which fraction large number of organic compounds present means, if you look at here means thousands of organic compounds, no? So that is large number of organic compounds found in, that is lower fraction, also called filtrate, also called acid soluble fraction. Large number of organic compounds found in here only. Macromolecules found in upper fraction, micromolecules found in lower fraction. Now I am asking one question. All biomicromolecules found in lower fraction? False, except lipids. So that is all biomicromolecules are found in lower fraction. False. All biomicromolecules except lipids found in lower fraction. True. So that is biomicromolecules except lipids. These lipids are strictly micromolecules, but they come under upper fraction, but they come under retentate, but they come under acid insoluble fraction, but they come under macromolecular fraction. Macromolecular fraction. This is micromolecular fraction, right? In other words, acid insoluble fraction. Acid insoluble fraction contains biomacromolecules and micromolecule like lipids. Lipids found in acid insoluble fraction. No? Next, acid soluble fraction. Acid soluble fraction contains biomicromolecules. That is, acid soluble fraction contains biomicromolecules without lipids. Here it is plus, here it is minus. Try to understand. Upper fraction contains macromolecules and lipids also present. Lower fraction contains micromolecules. Lipid is a micromolecule, but it does not contain lipids, does not found in lower fraction. Lipids are found in upper fraction. Why? Because when lipids are broken down means those are in the form of vesicles. Those vesicles are present in upper fraction only. That's why lipids are found in upper fraction. Lipids are strictly micromolecules, but they come under macromolecular fraction or upper fraction. Why? Because when lipids are broken down, they are in the form of vesicles. They are in the form of vesicles. Those vesicles are present in upper fraction only. They cannot pass down they cannot pass down. That's why they stay at upper fraction. That is retentate or upper fraction or acid insoluble pool. Okay, right. One more question, my dear students. Large number of organic compounds found in upper fraction or lower fraction, we have to say. Lower fraction. Why? Because lower fraction contains thousands of organic compounds. Okay, right. Elemental analysis gives an idea of, analysis of elements gives an idea of, that is elemental composition of living tissue. Next, analysis of compounds gives an idea of, compound analysis gives an idea about both organic and inorganic compounds. Elemental analysis gives an idea about elemental composition of living tissue. Elemental analysis gives elemental composition. Compounds analysis gives an idea about, that is both organic and inorganic compounds. Next, take a living tissue, that is it may be the leaf or liver, that is so called wet weight, and it should be dry it. And what happens after some time? That weight is so called dry weight. That is, water evaporates, water loses. The wet weight becomes dry weight, means water loses, water evaporates. This dry weight contains both inorganic and organic compounds. Dry weight contains both inorganic compounds and organic compounds. And if we burnt it, the dry weight should be burnt. So whenever we burnt that dry weight, means all the organic compounds are oxidized and these are removed in the form of gaseous form. Which compounds are removed? Means all the carbon compounds are removed when we are burning. All the carbon compounds removed means which substance are remained? Inorganic compounds. Inorganic compounds are present. And when we burnt, means dry weight becomes ash. This ash contains inorganic compounds like calcium and magnesium. It does not contain organic. All the organic compounds are removed in gaseous form. When we burnt, means all the carbon compounds are removed in gaseous form. This ash contains inorganic or organic. This ash contains inorganic compounds like calcium, magnesium, etc. Very. So sequence means wet weight, dry weight, ash. This dry weight contains both inorganic compounds and organic compounds. When the dry weight should be burnt, means what happens? All the carbon compounds are oxidized and these are removed in the form of gaseous form, and finally ash will be formed. This ash contains inorganic compounds. Don't say organic compounds. Ash contains inorganic compounds. True. Ash contains organic compounds. False. Ash contains inorganic compounds. Ash does not contain organic compounds. When we burnt, means all the carbon compounds are oxidized and these are removed in the form of gaseous form. Finally ash will be present. Okay, right. Next, now a new concept, that is amino acids. I am going to explain about amino acids. Now look at here, this is the structure of amino acid. This is carbon, this is acidic group or carboxylic group, this is amino group. So that is amino group and carboxylic group are present on same carbon, called alpha carbon. This type of amino acids are called alpha amino acids. Right, that is carbon is present means organic compounds. Amino acids are organic compounds. True. Amino acids are inorganic compounds. False. Amino acids contain carbon. No? So, amino acids are organic compounds having amino group and carboxylic group or acidic group as substituent groups on same carbon called alpha carbon. This type of amino acids are called alpha amino acids. They are nothing but substituted methanes. Substituted methanes. Right. What is the definition of amino acids? Amino acids are organic compounds containing amino group and acidic group as substituents on same carbon called alpha carbon. These are called alpha amino acids. Okay, so what are amino acids or alpha amino acids? That is, these are the organic compound. Don't by heart. These are carbon is present means organic compounds. This carbon containing amino group and acidic group. This acidic group is also called carboxylic group. So, these are the organic compounds having amino group and acidic group on same carbon. These are so called alpha amino acids. These are nothing but substituted methanes. Substituted methanes. Next, how many substituted groups are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Number of substituted groups in amino acids 1, 2, 3, 4. Number of valency positions 4. So that is substituted groups means 4. Valency positions means 4. What are the different types of amino acids belonging to proteins? Proteinaceous amino acids are 20. Don't say 21. So, types of proteinaceous amino acids are 20 types. Don't say 21 types. Right. If you look at these are the different types of amino acids. This is the amino acid of glycine. This is the amino acid of alanine. This is the amino acid of serine. Right. Amino group and carboxylic group are present on same carbon. This type of amino acids are called alpha amino acids. Right. This is amino group. This is carboxylic group. This is H group. Here also amino group, carboxylic group, H group. Here also amino group, carboxylic group, H group. These three groups are same in these amino acids. But here it is H, here it is CH2, here it is CH2OH. So this is the R group. So that is how many groups are there means amino group, acidic group, H group and R group. R group is the variable group. Which group is the variable group means R group. This R group is variable group. The R group in glycine is H, hydrogen. The R group in alanine is methyl group. CH2 is called methyl group. The R group in serine is CH2OH, that is hydroxymethyl group. So the R group in glycine is hydrogen. The R group in alanine is methyl group. The R group in serine is hydroxymethyl group. If you observe this structure means number of carbons in glycine is, this is one carbon, this is another carbon. Total number of carbons 2. Carbons is equal to 2. If you observe the structure of alanine means this is one carbon, this is another carbon, this is third carbon. Number of carbons in alanine is 3. If you observe the structure of serine means first carbon, second carbon, third carbon. So number of carbons in serine is 3. If they ask ratio among number of carbons in glycine, alanine, serine is 2 is to 3 is to 3. If they ask ratio between number of carbons in alanine and serine means 3 is to 3, that is equal to 1 is to 1. Of these three groups are same. This is the variable group now. So here it is H, here it is methyl group, here it is hydroxymethyl group. So based on the molecular weight, increasing order or decreasing order they may ask. Okay, right. Increasing order based on molecular weight is less molecular weight for glycine, somewhat more alanine. Here what is the R group? H. Here what is the R group? CH2. Sorry, CH2. Here what is the R group means? CH2OH. So H, CH2, CH2OH. So that is, this is the increasing order based on molecular weight. Try to remember, I am telling a code, gas, GAS. This is the gas code to remember. So that is, what is the R group in glycine? R group in glycine is hydrogen. R group in alanine is methyl group CH2. What is the R group in serine? Means hydroxy methyl group, that is CH2OH. So these are the different types of amino acids. So what are amino acids means? These are the organic compounds having amino group and carboxylic group, amino group and carboxylic group on same carbon called alpha carbons. These are nothing but substituted methanes. Number of substituted groups 4. Number of valency positions 4. So that is, what is the variable group means? R group is the variable group. R group is the variable group. The R group or variable group in glycine is H. R group in alanine is, that is CH2. R group in serine is CH2OH, hydroxymethyl group. Increasing order based on molecular weight means code is gas, increasing order. Okay, here it is H additionally, here it is CH2, here it is CH2OH. Okay, please note down all these points, my dear students. Now look at here, my dear students. The physical and chemical properties of amino acids based on which groups the physical and chemical properties of amino acids are based on. That is amino group, carboxylic group and R group, but not H group. So the chemical and physical properties of amino acids are based on means carboxylic group, amino group, R group. The physical and chemical properties of amino acid does not depend upon means H group. That is very important point, my dear students. The chemical and physical properties of amino acids depends upon, that is amino group, carboxylic or acidic group or functional group, but not H group. Next, what are the different types of amino acids based on amino group and carboxylic group? Some may be acidic amino acids, some may be basic amino acids, some may be neutral amino acids. So acidic amino acid example, glutamic acid or glutamate. Basic amino acid example, lysine. Neutral amino acid example, valine. So acidic amino acid, glutamic acid, basic amino acid, lysine, neutral, valine. To remember the code, A acidic, B basic, N neutral. There is a channel name called ABN channel. Channel name is, in TV, a channel name is ABN channel. ABN GLV. ABN GLV. Acidic amino acid, glutamate or glutamic acid. Basic amino acid, lysine. Neutral amino acid, valine. And aromatic amino acids are also there. Aromatic amino acids means, that is phenylalanine, tyrosine, tryptophan. Phenylalanine, tyrosine, tryptophan. Code means PT square. PT square. So acidic amino acid, glutamic acid. Basic amino acid, lysine. And neutral amino acid, valine. Code means ABN GLV. Aromatic amino acids means PT square. Phenylalanine, tyrosine, tryptophan. Two T sounds are there, no? PT square. Right. Next, in solution of different pH, the structure of amino acid changes. Changes or unchanged means change. Why? Because a particular property of amino acid is ionizable nature of amino and carboxylic group. So in solutions of different pH, the structure of amino acid is changed or unchanged? Changed. Why? Because due to ionizable nature of amino group and carboxylic group which are present in amino acids. Now look at here, this is the ionizable nature. So NH3 plus CH, COH, R group. Here NH3 plus CH, R group, COO minus. NH2 CH, COO minus, R group. This is considered C. Here it contains plus in A. Here it contains plus and minus. Here it contains minus. So this B is considered as zwitterion form. So what is zwitterionic compound means? Which is having both plus and minus, which is having both cation and anion. Both cation and anion. That is so called zwitterionic compound. So B is called called zwitterionic form because it contains both plus and minus. Plus and minus means pH value is 7, neutral. pH is 7 means neutral. So less than 7 means acidic, more than 7 means basic, equal to 7 means neutral. So pH is equal to 7 means neutral. So here A is A compound. Compound A is having plus symbol. compound C is having minus symbol, whereas compound B having both plus and minus. So, the compound that is having both plus and minus is called deuterionic compound. That what is the value of pH value means 7, that is considered as neutral. So, this is all about amino acids. Today what we discussed means how to analyze the chemical composition amino acids. Okay. I hope you are understood, my dear students, and we will meet in the next class.